And our writer Jessica Goldberg is here. Would you come join us? How are we running this? I want to ask some.
Yeah, let's just do Q&A. We've got about 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes.
I'm sure you guys have questions, right?
Yeah.
So go. Somebody raise your hand. There we go. Awesome.
I'm very curious. What was the father diagnosed with? I mean, that's never. Oh.
I think it was he had like an early onset Alzheimer's.
Okay, I was worried it was a tumor or something because there was never even result.
Yeah, Alzheimer's. Yeah.
It said quickly, so maybe you might have been sleeping or missed that whole time.
Okay, another question? Yeah.
How complicated it is to direct and also act in the skills you need and what they're
It was. That's why I had my friend Matt with me.
Can you
Because
repeat the question? Just like.
I think it was. You wanted me to talk about acting, directing.
Yeah.
We shot the movie in 21 days, and we didn't have any playback. So Matt was my playback. I had a little part in Argo, so I got to watch Ben Affleck direct just a small little movie, and then go back to the monitor and watch it back, and then change stuff. And we didn't have that luxury, so Matt directed me. So if you came to the set on any of those days, you wouldn't have thought I was a director. You thought he was the director. You want to talk about that at all?
I'm like Rain Man. He just comes back. He's like, how'd it go? I say, okay, the leaf blew this way, this went this way, this happened this way. I think you said something. No. I was an extra set of eyes, as were Jamie Patrick and Crystal, who's out there, and I don't know why she's not up here. And we just kind of, in scenes that Chris was acting in, where he couldn't physically see it, we would kind of give him our take, and hopefully he trusted our taste and our input and suggestions. And then the rest of it, I feel like we were just talking about this outside. I think Chris had a pretty good handle on wearing a bunch of different hats and yet maintaining a cool exterior so that everybody felt comfortable and calm, and all the actors felt welcomed. And because he's an actor, every actor that showed up, no matter how big or small the role was, everybody was kind of given freedom to bring their gift to it. So it all worked out, I think. I think the performances are pretty flawless.
Sure. Question for the writer. You wrote and played the Crazy Aunt.
Yes.
Was there an inspiration?
Hello.
Yes.
I'm sorry, what? Was there?
Did you grow up with an aunt that was maybe the inspiration for that part?
I mean, my life, I guess, was sort of my inspiration. I mean, I have a lot of crazy people in my family, but I definitely, in my, I have an older sister, and I think sort of when you sort of always, play like a sounding board, or I always had more reasonable people, so that sort of was a lot of the inspiration of Lily. And I also think, the best types of stories usually come from real life. So yeah, a lot of it was drawn from my life, and then, every writer brought a different color to it. Yes. Hi.
Hi. First of all, thank you so much. That movie was awesome.
You sound really smart.
And my question is directed towards Chris. You're my favorite actor, and you're awesome with both comedy and drama, and I was wondering which one you preferred.
Oh, first of all, thank you for saying that. That's very, very nice of you. I like them. I like them both. find them both a lot of fun to do, both really challenging. Yeah, it's kind of fun to bounce back and forth from comedy to drama. When I'm doing a drama, I like to find the comedy in it, and then when I'm in a comedy, I like to find the drama. So I know that's kind of a boring answer, but yeah, I like them. I like them both. But thank you for saying that and coming tonight. Yeah.
Just directed to the entire crew and cast, did you find any challenges in working in kind of a large area like Venice as opposed to being contained on a set somewhere? Was there any local pushback? I know it's a kind of insular community.
It's funny that you say that because it was like the smallest house on earth. It would have been great if we shot on the set. Plenty of room.
Make sure you repeat.
Sorry, the question was it difficult to, or was it freeing to shoot outside of the confines of a set, and was that fun for us? And we struggled to find that house for a really long time, and it was perfect, the house that we found. We wanted a craftsman, and it was really wonderful for us to shoot there. We got a lot of light, and Venice is a great place to shoot. Obviously, all the texture and the color and the light is just magnificent, right?
Yeah, they kept saying it'd be really hard to shoot in Venice, but the people there were very inviting and kind, and a lot of fun. We had a lot of great places to eat there. So. Yeah.
This question is for you. How did you first come in contact with the script to decide to make the film?
I did a film called 28 Hotel Rooms with Electric City, and I had been telling them how great of a director I would be one day, and they were like, "Oh yeah, sure," and they were kind enough to give me the script that they had been working on with Katie, and we worked on it for a while. Katie and her writing partner Justin. When I first got the script, it was really a collage of all these different characters in Venice, but at the core of the story was this family that was very interesting to me, and we kind of started cutting away at the collage and focusing on the family, and those guys wrote a new draft, and it was a lot closer to what I was wanting to make. And then we brought to Jessica Goldberg, who Jessica and I had done a bunch of plays together in New York, and we had a great experience together. We stayed friends, and I thought she would bring something special to it. So she took what we were working on, and she kind of cracked it open for us. And it was at that point that I saw that there was a movie there that I felt like I could direct. I related to the family, and that was kind of the story of it.
There was a lot of mini stories within the greater movie. You guys could have gone on the tangent of the father having the health issue, or the sister having relations with the co-worker or such, or even Alex and the developer. I would like to know, was it a struggle trying to contain the story of just Alex and the husband and the family issue, or did you struggle with developing these other narratives in the movie? Like, did you have to really sit down and cut things, or were you pretty content?
Yeah, it was a struggle. That's a great question. It was hard because in fact, believe it or not, there was other stories in there. There was
a little bit hard. I was like, at one point I was like, God, I want to know what happened here.
Yeah.
Well, we used to have like 20, so we got a lot.
Yeah, it was hard in the writing process to decide what the movie wanted to be, or who was leading us through the story, and it was hard in the editing process as well to find out. And even watching it now, I go, oh, I should have cut out of that. But
my other question is, how is that Emmett so handsome?
oh, he's really handsome.
Yeah.
She's a plant. We brought her.
He is one of the most handsome DPs I've ever worked with. Yeah.
This question is for Doug and Chris. I was wondering if you guys could talk about how you collaborated and how much of this was boarded out versus coming gelling on set and figuring out the blocking organically, and just maybe talk about that a little bit. That would be great.
We had the great fortune of working together. This is our fourth movie. And obviously before it was DP and actor, and we became great friends, and we have a similar taste in films and how we like to work. So when Electric City gave it the green light to go, I immediately wanted Doug to do it. It was my first choice, and he was kind enough to take time out to do it. He's very busy, but we sat around and watched films, and I would, basically ask Doug can we steal this shot? Can we do this? And he would hear me or hear the tone or the colors or the ideas of what I wanted, and he would just make it his own. We watched a lot of Woody Allen, we watched Hannah and Her Sisters. All the Real Girls was something that we talked about a lot, David Gordon Green's movie. Do you want to talk?
Yeah, I think that that movie was fun to shoot because it was a collaboration, obviously, and that we talked about doing some really staged setup oneers, long takes with a Steadicam and with a camera that would pan 180 degrees and go from one actor to another. And then we would also mix it up by doing a lot of improv with two cameras shooting at the same time, shooting over the shoulders. Katie and Mary together outside on the porch, for instance, was one scene that we just improv'd a lot. So that was fun. So it kind of kept us on our toes doing both styles of filmmaking in the same film, which I think adds kind of like a lightness or a freshness to the film. But I think mostly it was a lot of it was improv. A lot of it was like it was scripted, and then you kind of would shake it up and try other things, which was interesting. Matt?
I thought it was almost like two different films. There were some shots, I don't know if you remember in the beginning, the opening entrance, in the introduction to the family. It's a Steadicam shot that's a oneer that goes through the house and then goes out, finds Chris in the backyard, and then they come back to the barbecue. And that, I think, we did 16 takes or something like that? And it was like doing, directing a play, basically, and they had to make sure everything was hit and everything was precise. And then there were the other ones that were like that porch scene that's hysterical, I think, between the two sisters. And that was set up with, the cameras were locked down, right? Weren't they on sticks? And these guys were just ripping, and Chris was, it was crazy. Chris was throwing, lobbing suggestions in, making people laugh, and it was an amazing night. It was actually kind of a magical night to watch these guys. It really was, and to watch the scene of the entire shooting of that scene was as entertaining as the scene itself, and the scene itself is amazing. So it was fun.
Another reason I brought Matt here is because he's a great guy. He says nice things like that.
He owes me a lot of money. He owed me $300 or something.
But just to say that as an actor, I don't like to be in those oneers because I get nervous that I'm going to be the guy that screws it up. But as an audience member, I really I just don't like a lot of cutting because for me, I'm taken out of the film, So I tried to do both, and it was annoying. I was annoying because I was saying to Don Johnson, please don't turn your head at this moment, let her pass here. It was super annoying, but then I would promise him and the rest of the actors that I'm going to put 2 cameras on you, and I swear to God, you can do whatever you want. There'll be no wrong or right, whatever happens. We'll let Alexa, the card is 27 minutes long, so in any 2-person scene, we would let the camera go for 27 minutes until it ran out. Anybody else? Yeah.
Hi. Congratulations on getting distribution.
Thank you.
And my question is for Chris. How did you find directing a movie versus directing plays?
The question was directing movie versus directing plays. I haven't really. I directed one play and some workshops in New York, and I guess the thing is when you're directing a play, you're kind of, every day you're kind of like saying goodbye to the play and the actors, and you're kind of setting them off on their own, because you go away and then the performance is theirs, which is fun for, I'm sure there's a bunch of actors in the audience, it's fun for actors because nobody can call cut. At the end of the night, the director might run backstage and say, "What the fuck were you doing?" You know? But then the next night you could either take that note or not and go on. But when you're directing a movie, you're in the editing room saying, "I don't want that line," or "I don't want that performance, I don't want that take of it," or so. I mean, they're so different. I love working with actors. You know, I was asked to. A lot of my friends asked me to put them on tape when they audition, and I think that's maybe where I learned about directing actors. I just like working with actors. You know, Matt and I do that for each other. If I have an audition, he puts me on tape. And
we never get jobs out of it, by the way. I'm doing it for like 20 years.
I think, but that's where I learned how to maybe work with actors on film. Strangely enough, auditions.
We have time for one more.
Okay.
Plans for distribution?
Distribution. It's when is it coming out, Crystal? This is Crystal Powell, one of our producers. She's amazing. She doesn't want to come up on stage.
Big ups to Crystal.
Yeah, she's amazing. You want to?
Yeah. What's next for everybody out there?
Oh, next for everybody out there.
No.
What?
Derek?
Yeah.
What's next for you?
I'm having a conversation right now.
Oh, well, no, this family wants to know what's next in your career.
Okay.
Besides dinner, what's next for you?
Hello, everyone. What's next for me is me and my wife. We're producing first film. This one's take place in the Bronx. So I've been putting a lot of my energies this year in that, and that's what I'm excited about.
Are you going to be in it?
I am going to be in it. I'm going to be in it. So I'm here. I'm taking all this information, and I'm excited. Thank you.
I'm filming a movie right now in New Orleans. So, yeah, big up to New Orleans with Sam Rockwell and Anna Kendrick, and most importantly, RZA from the Wu-Tang. So, who told me to call him Bobby, his government name already, so just letting you know.
I'm cutting with Chris tomorrow on a documentary that he just directed for Beat the Odds, and I'm sure he can elaborate.
Yeah.
What are you working on tomorrow? I can't sleep in the middle of tomorrow. Right now, a couple of TV gigs and a movie coming out in the spring, and I've optioned the rights to a book that hopefully this guy's going to direct. Jessica's writing, and hopefully it'll knock your socks off in about 15 years.
See you in 15.
That was working out. Chris and I are about to start our 5th movie come February, so that's exciting. Yeah, that's what we're doing. A movie called Good Humor. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I read it. It's good. It's fun. What about you?
What am I? I'm working on a documentary for the Children's Defense Fund, and I shoot on a television show called The Mindy Project. And thank you guys all for coming on a Sunday night. It's really nice of you when Birdman's playing just a couple of feet down. So, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.